Welcome to the CFG Game Cast, episode number 224, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming news from the previous week. We stream a new episode on the weekends and release it on all podcast services at the beginning of each and every week. So do us a favor and show us some love by liking, following, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, the CFG channel. We are so close to 500, it's not even funny. So definitely do that. That goes a long way for us. But if you're wanting to see some awesome full content for everything we do, go to our main website, confreaksgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davies Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Oh, cyborg thingies. If I make funny faces, my tube is bothering me today. Being a robot sometimes is not fun, especially when you miss your appointment and you're an idiot and don't have your medication. So it's going to be a fun weekend for me. But I did play some games this week. I played with the Spoopy crew. I thought we were going to play some Labyrinthine because I know they did an update not too recently. So if you have it, you've played it, you love it, don't forget to go back in and do, they now have a new tutorial that you have to do. So we didn't end up playing that, though. We ended up playing more Dead by Daylight, and it was a blast. We had a lot of fun.
I mean, well, I didn't know that Labyrinthine actually had an update. I mean, if you see the update on Labyrinth, that's crazy. You know, that's a game I will never play again. But still.
Stop. Really? I was going to ask you if you wanted to play with me soon. You don't want to play again? What if Smitty comes?
Maybe in October.
I've never played it. I own the game and I've never played it.
Me, you, Adam, and Smitty. Adam will keep you safe. Just stick with him.
Hey, Lex.
Yeah.
Do you know who would be absolutely lost in the UK or Ireland if he had the chance to, if he goes there for references?
I do. His name is
the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty's committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's going on, my dude?
Chilling. I got the idiots of the bittiest with me right now. Gaming wise, though, it's been good. It was a busy week for me this week. I had some side gigs. I had an interview. Interview went really well, too. So I'm just waiting for more info on that. So it's been busy. We're getting into the grind of things. We finally got the old thing out. Mm-hmm. So that was nice not to have to worry about the IV stuff and whatnot. And then, but I am unfortunately back on antibiotics. Mm-hmm. The abscess has not completely gone away.
But it's gotten a lot smaller, though, right?
It has gotten a lot smaller, so there is progress. So they put me back on antibiotics, at least by pills, for another 2 weeks. So, yeah. Other than that, though, I've been grinding Destiny 2. We're at the final encounter against the Witness with the Stone Squad, Zuzu, and all the fellas and whatnot. So really enjoying that raid. It's a lot of fun. It's dope. And yeah, other than that, though, I don't know that I've really been playing much of anything other than Destiny. Oh, no. I played some X-Defiant, too.
Yeah, I saw you playing that yesterday.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying X-Defiant. I haven't played Marvel Snap here in like a hot couple seasons, I think, now. Yeah, I just haven't.
Maybe you're done.
Because I feel like I'm so far behind. There's so many cards out there now. And I'm not done. I'm coming back, baby. We're going to come back stronger. We are going to run that tournament, too. I've been saying it for months. I feel like a scumbag. Rav, that trophy will not go in vain, my friend. We will have at least another. We'll do more. I just got to get back to the groove of things.
You might as well just change it into a Marvel Rivals trophy. I don't know if it's going to end up happening. That's what's going to happen.
Macho Man Smitty Savage. Oh, yeah.
Man, that's crazy. I know you've been super busy, dude. I can't wait to see all the
It's been crazy. Well, between health things and just like get freelance work and doing stuff and whatnot, I'm just trying to stay busy and get things going again and getting back into a comfortable place, especially financially. Not being in a comfortable place financially is quite stressful. Indeed. So just making sure that I'm doing what I can to help out and mitigate and lessen the impact of that as I build my things out. So things are moving. We're in a good place.
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. Glad things
streams have been lackluster. You are turning into you look like chocolate pudding.
What? I look like chocolate
Your screen
pudding?
is going.
Stop.
Is it? What are you talking about? It's not. It's looking normal.
Your
screen
is getting all laggy. You dropped out one time. You just did it again.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on. Is anybody else seeing this?
I can't comment.
I don't have anything pulled up. I don't have my phone.
I'm too white to answer.
Somebody.
I'm seeing it on my screen right now, and I'm looking fine.
You do look a little more puddingy on the screen than you do on
your
my
screen
cam.
Keeps. Yeah.
I think it's on y'all's side.
Excuse me. It keeps,
I'm pretty sure it's on y'all's side.
out.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the live feed right now.
I think so, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking at the live feed right now on my phone.
Good?
It looks fine.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see. Let me check on a different window real quick.
I don't know what to say then, dude.
I look like
nobody in chat's gonna neither confirm nor deny.
Never in my life has anyone says you look like pudding. That's a horrible thing to say to another human being. How dare you? That's funny. Okay, let's go.
I'll just see myself out. Thank you.
Yes, that's freaking hilarious. But anyways, don't say that around me. I'll lick them. Oh God, no, please don't. But as for me, dude, I've been busy, man. I've been busy as always, just with some other stuff, with things and stuff as always. Was playing some more V Rising. I'm surprised how far I'm getting on there, but some of these bosses have been a big pain, but it's the journey, man. It's freaking hilarious on how I'm killing some of these things. One of them killed himself, which is really funny. but yeah. Yeah, I've been loving that. Been doing that on my own free time. Then also been getting ready for the beta for Fragpunk that comes out this Friday for the closed beta
that looks
test.
Really interesting.
Oh,
with
you
the
actually
card system and stuff. I watched the trailer. I was like, oh,
yeah,
interesting. Yeah,
I love it. I love I was like, oh, okay, this is something that I would like to try and see how it's going to go. So hopefully, if I want to do that, I want to make sure if I have the rights to be able to stream it, I definitely will. And go from there. But yeah, it's been but for the most part, it's been very chill. Well, no, I wouldn't say chill, but it's been very busy on the back end. So hopefully soon I'll be able to kind of get a schedule back again into the streaming.
Yeah,
like I was before. Then also I'm going to be releasing. Been working with Stevie on the spoiler cast for Avatar: The Last Airbender season 1 of that. So that's hopefully coming out next week. So yeah, we've been doing some things and stuff, and as always, just to have some nice, awesome content for you all. But once again, I know y'all don't want to talk about any more, any spoilers of Avatar, even though that show's been out for almost 20 years. Let's go through the normal rigmarole through that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games, and it's something that happened in video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry. We don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers on Twitch, YouTube, and on Twitter, to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something that you're wanting to chime in about on whatever we talk about, we encourage you to just say it, or I'm sorry, just type it inside the chat. We will love to discuss with it back and forth like we always do. So anyways, I know I didn't give you all the order, so I'm going to wing it. So we are, I'm going to be talking about, I'll go first. I think it's only fair, but so on either Tuesday or Wednesday earlier this week, Nintendo released the Nintendo Direct. I was assuming this was coming because Sony did something, Microsoft did something, and then it's the month, it's the season, it's the time of year where you usually see these kind of things. So I was like, and as always, I mean, now they've had the Directs have been very I guess lackluster would be a good word to say. But I had no expectations of coming out. But I have to say, Smitty or Lex, did y'all watch the directs at all this year?
Absolutely.
You did?
I did
Okay.
not.
Oh, okay.
But
So,
I heard about them.
I mean, like, before going into it, like, I have to say that this is probably also, like, they did a really good job comparatively to what they normally do. I mean, there's a lot of hype about a lot of games that are coming out, and then I think, if anything, this direct shows more first party games on this system than even on Xbox and on PlayStation when I was looking at it, and I was like, wow, okay, towards it. So there was a lot of there were a lot of games. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to go by the games that really kind of stood out. The direct was an hour long, and it just encapsulated all these different kinds of cool things. Like the biggest one, some of the big games that came out was announced was a new Mario and Luigi game called Mario and Luigi Brotherhood. Now, if you're not familiar with Mario and Luigi, this was a game that came out on the handhelds, the DS and the I want to say the GBA. Did it come out on GBA? I believe it came out on Game Boy Advance as well first, and then it was continuing on. I think it's like story number 5 or 6. I can't remember what it was, but
oh wow,
for it. But this is gonna be the first Mario and Luigi that's going to be on console. That's going to be coming out. They didn't give an official release date on this yet, but it looks good. I mean, it definitely looks like a good, because it was like a 2-player co-op RPG kind of style of play, which was really fun. So this is something that I'm actually wanting to play and have a reason to play my Switch, because like I was actually thinking the other day, when was the last time I even turned my Switch on? And then I'm like, man, there we go. We do have a street date, November 7th. It's coming out this year at the end of the year. So if some of these games are coming out by the end of the year, I probably am going to get in on this one. But Mario and Luigi looks like something that's up my alley. Looking forward to it. But there was also an announcement about the Nintendo World Championship NES edition. Now, I know a lot of folks are probably too young to know this, but Nintendo had a championship back in the late 80s, early 90s. So they now, if you have the physical cart, the Wiz, I know, right? But the Wiz didn't. Yeah, they made the tournament.
Was that not the same?
No, it was the tournament, but I think they got the idea from the Wiz. I'm pretty sure. Because at the time the Wiz, and here's a fun fact.
Not the Wiz.
The Wizard, yeah.
Sitting here like, are we talking about the musical?
Yeah. We're talking about
not the Wiz, the Wizard.
We were talking about the time when Michael Jackson was kicking all those kids' asses in Mario Brothers 3. Yeah,
they weren't real birds. They were Marios.
My mistake. Yes, the Wizard with Fred Savage. Yeah. So, fun fact about the Wizard. In the theatrical version of the Wizard, they didn't have Super Mario Bros. 3 because Super Mario Bros. 3 didn't exist when it came out. What they did was that they had Super Mario Brothers 2 on in the theatrical version. When it came out on VHS, they put in deals for Super Mario Brothers 3 because it just came out. Crazy, isn't
know
it?
that.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
wild. I think that was before Super Mario 3 came out.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, the
right?
theatrical version of the Wizard came out before the game Mario Brothers 3 came out officially. So that's why they didn't have it and they didn't want to show it. So because during that time, we didn't have coming soon. Well, like the coming soons for video games wasn't like how it is now, you know? So, So yeah, but anyways, but there was the Nintendo NES Championship. I had 2 friends that actually did that tournament. One of them like almost won it, but didn't get it. But he did get the NES, the rare NES cart that's worth like $27,000. It's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah, because it's a cart that has like little toggle switches on it, and it was like a programming cartridge, so they can actually put a specific stage or do specific things in it for it to do. So it was really cool. So I saw that. So this, like, I like the fact that they were releasing this. They're releasing this out, and anyone could just try out the crazy games and stuff like that. And I just can't wait till the Super Nintendo version of it, because they only did the championship twice. The SNES, when SNES came out, they did another Nintendo World Championship with that again. And I guess they did one later on in like the early 2010s, but I don't count that. But anyways, but then they also had some like, then they also showed a Donkey Kong Country Returns HD version. So Donkey Kong Country is coming back with more updated graphics than what you remember on the Super Nintendo, and how it looks really good. I mean, they're going to add some small new some features to it. But if it's old school Donkey Kong, I'm in. Sold, man. It didn't take much for me to be like, okay, you got me. Now, one of the biggest things for me personally was the Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection. Now, I'm sure if you folks have been looking around, on YouTube, you see a lot of people's impressions of it. This came out of nowhere. I mean, it's not going to be an exclusive to the Switch. It's going to come out on all the consoles and hopefully on PC too. But this has 7 games. It has all the versus games except the Capcom versus SNK and the SNK versus Capcom games and stuff. But it starts you at the very beginning with Marvel superheroes, then X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Street Fighter, Marvel Cap 2, and what's even better to me, the fact that they're bringing the beat 'em ups, the Punisher, that was originally on the Sega Genesis, only on the Sega Genesis, and then they're doing an arcade port of that game, which was a incredible beat 'em up. So looking forward to trying to adding that. This is something that's a must get if you love these old school this collectors, and it does rollback net code, as well as everything is like truly unlocked. So I am so hyped about this. Yeah, I'm so hyped about that game. So I love the fact that they're doing this. Then they also really announced things like Ace Attorney Investigating Collection as well. So it's another full collection of Ace Attorney games if you're into that, which was cool. Then they did a teaser trailer of a brand new Legend of Zelda game, which is what was it called? Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah, Echoes of Wisdom. If y'all don't know, I'm not a big Zelda fan.
She is a Zelda hater.
Yeah, but I just didn't like. I mean, I was just like, okay, cool. This is a game. It's here. So there you go. I don't. Yeah, I know people are probably gonna be flip their lids on this when they saw this, but nah, I'm like, okay, cool. This is another Zelda thing. What did you think about it, Smitty? Were you?
This looks absolutely amazing. I feel like they are kind of, number one, this is the first time that Zelda will be the protagonist in the game, in her game. Essentially. So that out the gate is fantastic. I don't know much really about the story, but I love the fact, the mechanic again, where it's all about Zelda being able to copy things in the real world and using them to solve puzzles, using them to, create enemies that can kill other enemies and stuff like that. So it almost felt like, and again, or seems like it's that kind of taking that Tears of the Kingdom, like being able to you get many options to be able to solve puzzles or do things. So it really diversifies the play style that people can have and the experience that folks can have. I think that's the most exciting thing to me when I saw that.
Okay, well, I'll let you swoon over it and make it on your to-play game list, because I know you still need to play the sequel of Tears of the Kingdom. So okay.
Although I feel like this is separate from that, so I don't know canonically where this would sit within the Legend of Zelda's timeline.
To be fair, that timeline is so effed, it's not even funny.
It really is.
Yeah, so like you shouldn't even feel bad of doing like, what order do they need to be? It's like, simple. Don't worry about it.
I feel like I could play this separate of not beating Tears of the Kingdom. So I don't feel like obligated to wait to get this until after Tears of the Kingdom, whenever I finish that.
Yeah, so you shouldn't even feel,
say.
you should not even feel bad at all, so whatsoever. So go for it. What the? He just make a rock in front of her. They just threw the rock at the mob. That's hilarious.
Dude, it looks crazy. It looks like the things that you can do in this. Like, it's a fun mechanic. I think it gives away to a lot of variety.
This reminds me of like she has Green Lantern powers. Essentially, she's manifesting all these different kinds of things. Okay, cool. But yeah. So then, so that's coming out. I think 2025, which kind of begs the question: is this going to be a multi-console release? Because I believe around this, I'm assuming this game is going to come out around the time when they announce. I mean, that they're going to be announcing the next gen console for the Switch. The new console is that's gonna take over for the Switch's side. So like you're going to be getting to a point where it's like, should I even wait for the to get it on my Switch, or just wait for the new console to come out? So I guess that's a future problem that you have to worry about. But anyways, just
I feel like with them essentially being in a transitional phase right now, going from the Switch to whatever the next console may be, I felt like they really went out with a bang here in terms of they didn't hold back. You know how a lot of people kind of taper off a little bit as they're set for the new console. I felt like they're still going full steam ahead with these titles, with these exclusives that they showed off, which, again, I feel like that's really indicative of Nintendo, of their kind of their work culture and how they do things. So really impressive to see in terms of that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So another one that I'm actually really looking forward to is a brand new Mario's what's called Mario Party. So So this one's going to be called it's called Super Mario Party Jamboree. So it's going to have different kinds of stages as always, but they're going to have different kinds of like themed places like a mall, a racetrack, beaches and stuff like that. And of course, brand new party games. The real thing I'm hoping on is that they don't disappoint like they did for the first Super Mario Party that came out on the Switch beforehand. So if they learn their lessons from that, then I'm looking forward to it, because I mean Superstars was the better Mario Party that was on the Switch so far. Was Superstar the latest one? Superstars is a latest one, but it's a greatest hit. It's from older Mario parties. Yeah. So then there was another Mario, but then there was a Super Mario Party that they just like they reimagined it, but it was terrible comparatively. So this one looks really good though. I will say it does have good vibes. I have good vibes on this one, so we'll see. I don't know if this had its street date. Did it have a street date? Let's see.
Yes, it is November. October.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Coming out October 17th. So that's going to be
day
cool.
one for me. We love Mario Party in this house.
If we can play online, I'm definitely down to play, man, because that's going to be a fun
up to
one
20 players. There's like
20 players?
Yes. There's like basically, so I think almost like what they did with like the Tetris. No. I'm sorry. Not with the Tetris 999, but like it will have like a leaderboard, and I'm imagining it'll start, knocking people out as you go along. But it's supposed to be up to 20 people.
Interesting. Well, that's going to be very interesting. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. So then another one that another mention was that Dragon Quest is also getting an HD remake. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D is coming out soon for the now I don't know if it's specifically going to be for the Switch. It might be actually a timed exclusive, because they usually love doing that for the Switch. So they're doing and this looks really, really good. If you're a Dragon Quest fan, you will definitely want to get this one. And they're doing it in an interesting order. So like how in the regular Dragon Quest series, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 is Dragon Quest 3 comes before 1 and 2 in the storyline. So canonically. So they're releasing the third one remake. It's coming out this year, but then Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake is going to come out next year. next year in that exact order. So you could play throughout the exact order you're needing to play to get the full story of it. And it looks like
I've never played the Dragon Quest. I know about it. I'm very familiar with that, but I don't believe I've ever played them. So I'm excited about this.
You should definitely.
Yeah, I will definitely be playing through these.
This game looks more like closer. Now this game is starting to look closer to the style of Octopath Traveler, kind of. So like, so yeah, and I think like that look just looks. I mean, comparatively, like a long time ago, I was never a fan of Dragon Quest because of the style, how it looked, and then also the gameplay and how it felt. But this does change my mind because I did change my mind with Dragon Quest 11. So yeah, but then now if this is going to allow you to start the beginning of the Dragon Quest journey, and then it goes in the canonical order that they're wanting you to do to get the full story, I'm in. I mean, I'm totally sold on that. I love like long stories and stuff. Blue Spear says I've never played myself and I think I just might play it. Yeah, I mean, if you love RPGs, like Dragon Quest is definitely one of those RPG games that you're wanting to play if you love those kind of turn-based style RPGs, because that's like, I think it's a little bit of history, to be honest with you, because that it really did started up a bit like the JRPG series
right
genre,
yeah
really, to be honest with you. So yeah, there you go. So then now, like I said, there was other games, but I think the biggest one was a game that I have been saying I wanted to see something for. I don't even know at this point. I think I've been saying it ever since the podcast was created, because I just needed to get the, like, I was saying they need to show something, and they finally did, which was freaking awesome. Was Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So this is what I've been wanting to see for the longest of time. They definitely announced, they showed gameplay, even though the trailer was very short, but it shows that it exists is all that matters to me. Then they said this is coming out in 2025. And then I said to myself, this is clearly not going to be on the Switch because this is running more than 30 frames. Like, this is a 30 frame per second game, because like this game at best is going to be run 30 frames per second. I don't think Switch will be able to handle it. So yeah, I think, I mean, and this is my own personal opinion, this game is going to be coming out on the next gen system. I think it's going to come out on the next gen system, kind of like what they did with Zelda when it first came out. When the first Zelda came on the Switch, came out on the Wii, and it came out on the Wii U and came out on the Switch. So it made people go with it. So I think that this is going to be a fun game. Has any of y'all played Metroid Prime before? No? Oh my god.
No.
Y'all need to play it. Y'all need to play Metroid Prime. This is one of my favorite games when I was growing up.
Never played any of the Primes.
Yeah, I mean, well, Metroid, I loved Metroid. I grew up on Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
But the 2D, the 2D stuff. But Metroid, but then they changed the style to a first person shooter, and it worked. It worked so good. So. Yeah, I definitely love it. I definitely love it. I have a special place in my heart towards it, and for a game that is a shooting game, and for me to be interested in it is coming a long way. Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, but like I said, they had a lot of, like, overall there was just a lot of different kinds of titles and things that were coming out. I mean, that's stuff I haven't even mentioned, like the Luigi Mansion 2 HD remake that was coming out, the game of Formagia, which isn't an exclusive to Nintendo, but it's the guy who created Fairy Tail, the anime series. He is doing the art for it, and it looks really, really good. And stuff like that is just coming in. They just had so many like bangers in this direct that I totally underestimated it. So I mean, overall, what did you think? What did you think of it, Smitty?
It was great. I thought they, like I said, I thought they really went after it, especially during this phase. I mean, you know, it'll be interesting to see in terms of what they have for this next generation console or whatever it is, and what they're working on for that. So I felt like them putting this on, this is kind of like again, they're not going to stop supporting the Switch once whatever else comes back, because it's in so many people's hands. Why would they do that? I think they're going to support both Switch and whatever's next. And then eventually when they get to the next one, maybe they look to phase out. But again, I think what really will matter is how many people are playing and where do people want the games at. And Nintendo will, for the most part, go to it. They'll just go off the numbers.
I think Nintendo will just do their own thing. Nintendo's always walked on the beat of their own drum. So I just think that I feel like Nintendo's the pressure for games to be kind of, prevalent on their system isn't as strong comparatively to, PlayStation and Xbox, because for now, now they're getting more third party support because of how successful the Switch is. But their biggest strength was their first party games. So so I think that you're right. I think that there's that the Switch isn't going to just go away in 2025. There's going to be a transitional period. But I just think that they've definitely made their own little safe space in their gaming industry, gaming side, to be not to worry about crazy profits and stuff, because these games are nowhere near the level of the budget that they're getting on these big AAA games, and then yet these games are still selling are still selling 20 million 25 million copies for the system. So I think they have nothing to worry about. I just love that they just did it. Then with this direct, seeing what they are coming up with and what's coming that is exclusive. Yeah, freaking awesome. Even though I haven't touched the Switch, it still makes me excited for some of these games that are coming out. So I know I'm not going to miss out on it, So yeah, but anyways. So there you go. So the Nintendo Direct was definitely a meaty Direct this time around. So I definitely love that. So, Smitty, why don't you go next? What are you bringing to the table?
Oh, I didn't think I was going to be next. Interesting. I'm glad I did this.
I don't know if I like that tone.
No. So I know we talked about this. This game had piqued my interest here a while ago. It's called Life by You, which essentially is like a life simulator. It's like The Sims, way more updated graphics. It felt more realistic. I had really gotten excited about this game just because I love The Sims, but I kind of outgrew it, I guess, or I don't know if that's a good way of putting it, but I just kind of lost my interest in it. But this definitely piqued my interest again. What was really weird about this, though, is that this was supposed to come out here this month. And it was, I want to say last week, the game was delayed indefinitely. And then this week, Paradox Interactive put out a statement saying that they're canceling Life by You, and they closed down a studio that created it. I'm spacing on the studio's name. It's Pieces Interactive, I think, was the studio that was working on this. This blows my mind. Number one, this should already be out in early access. So what happened? How did they go from this being released this month to going, you know what, we're going to go ahead and delay this, to, you know what, we're just scrapping the whole project? It looks great. You could tell a ton of work has been put into this game. I know there's a person I was working on that was a part of The Sims 2 and 3. He was part of the team and stuff like that. So they had at least some sort of knowledge and ground. So there's a lot of work that went in this game, and it's just, I just don't understand how this happens or how they project it. I feel like this is almost, kind of indicative of these bigger studios and stuff like that looking at these things and being we're not willing to take a risk on these games anymore, even though they've already gone down this path this long. They essentially said, we didn't feel it was in a place that it needed to be, so we just canceled it. We don't believe it can get there or whatever. But I know there were a lot of people that were looking forward to this game, myself included. So I was bummed about it. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts just on, just how does it go from where it was at, being hyped up, people being excited to be like, this game no longer exists. Oh, the people that created it, nope, they don't exist either.
Why don't you go, Lex?
Yeah,
like they didn't murder the people or anything.
Right.
They just
they disappeared in the desert.
They just came out and they said like, we decided to get rid of the gaming staff permanently.
Right. I'm sorry. What does permanent mean? Okay. I'm not very good at Sims. My cousins were really into The Sims when I was a kid, and maybe because they refused to also let me play, I had to watch for hours, and it was so boring. But I was kind of excited about this. Somebody showed me some sort of like sneak peek that they found about it on Twitter, like for a spooky crew gals. However, it just, for some reason, the way that they had this seemed easier to me than playing Sims. Like the way that you do things and the way that you interact with the environment and moving the walls, which I've always had a hard time with seeing, like the outlines being highlighted. It just looked a lot easier for me, right? So a little more compatible with my eyesight. I'm really sad to see that it's not going to come to life. I know a whole group of Sims gals, and they are going crazy on Reddit about this. And I'm sure now they're going extra crazy to hear that it's not. Again, how does it go from this game is pretty much complete, we just haven't set a date, to just kidding, stay tuned, to now closing? Like, they didn't close the studio down, right? They just.
No, they closed
the studio down too.
Are we sure these people are okay?
That came after they canceled the game.
Yeah. Okay. That freaks me out a little bit. Look, I know we're in hard times. COVID ruined a lot of businesses, gaming businesses also, because we hit a boom and then now we're in a lull. I genuinely don't understand how it just disappeared like that. It freaks me out a bit.
The biggest thing I kind of like, I understand if a game was going to close or if a game gets canceled and stuff,
right?
But the game being canceled the month of when it's supposed to be released, like without them saying anything prior to any of it, because all we know is we're just assuming that the game is going to come out the time they said it was going to come out. But when all the dominoes fall at the same time so fast like that. It just like it didn't even collapse. It just imploded on itself, which was really weird.
They delayed it first. They did delay it first,
a little bit,
and then it was like a week later, and they were like, game's canceled.
Can you imagine? Like, it's kind of like you make a science project, or like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, but then you kind of procrastinate until the last minute, and it's not the way that you wanted to say, and then you just say, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna get the 0. I'm gonna get the F. I'm not gonna spoil myself. That's what it feels like what this is.
Right.
I'm not going to stress about it.
It's crazy. Like Scyther said, ancient aliens. Honestly, at this point, I wonder, does anybody follow anybody that worked at this studio, like on Twitter or on Threads?
Okay.
This is nuts. I almost want to do some like deep dive digging and go on Reddit.
So Paradox, the name of the studio that made Life Is You, is it Life Is You or Life by You? I can't remember.
Life by You.
Life by You. Sorry. Okay, so the studio was Paradox Tectonic, they closed the studio. Yeah, they closed that studio down immediately after that. But then what's weird is that this studio was technically active until as late as a week ago, working on this, which is like.
Right.
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand when
at least release it.
When the studio closes and stuff like that, it sucks. I understand that. However, when it's like, hey, we're waiting for the release of our brand new game is coming out next week, and it's not like Paradox Tectonic was Paradox Studios. Paradox could easily make it shift the game into something else if they do it. There must have been something that during this process. I mean, and I'm just assuming here, something in the process that they didn't tell anyone. And then they just realized, you know what? What's the work? Like, why are we going through this effort? Let's just close it up. It's not working the way we want it to. We're done, or something. It just feels so abrupt. That's why I'm not a big fan of how this happened. Even though like I said, how the studios closed has always sucked because they had too, but they overestimated what they were going to be at. Terrible thing to do, but at least they gave them time of some sort to say, okay, we're shutting this studio down. We're not going to the studio was going to release a game in like 4 days, but no, too bad, here you go. It's just
well, the thing too is that it was going to be in early access, so it's like the development wasn't even going to end there,
right? Live service.
Yeah, so like maybe the server costs, and somebody was like, nah, dude, it's too much money. Again, it's the corpos. I feel like I'm gonna point the finger at the corpo.
Yeah, no, obviously some higher ups have something to do with this, because people, I won't be shocked if this game just gets randomly thrown out there. Sometimes I wonder, like, are they doing this on purpose to gain hype around a game that wasn't gonna do as well as they imagined it would, right? Do something like this to get media coverage to then have it be released and have everybody clamoring to play.
To be fair, I didn't even know what
stupid.
I didn't even know that this game existed until Smitty said
their marketing was shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't know about this game. It's because their marketing was not good. I know I feel like if you're in certain niches,
that's true.
or you're like this and that, like, then you probably heard of this game, but their marketing wise, they weren't like they had some videos that talked about the character creation and like kind of like breakdown videos and stuff like that. But I never saw any kind of other marketing other than that. And this, again, reminding you, we should be in the early access right now. So clearly somebody dropped the ball on that. And this is one of my biggest concerns in terms of things like this, is that this isn't going to be the last time that we're going to miss out on potentially good games, because these corporate heads are saying, you know what, we don't want to take the risk. We're just going to cancel the whole project outright, because again, you have a live service game. That means you're paying for servers and this and that, and keeping staff on, and even maybe having to build up from that. That's all not looking good on paper. So they make the adverse decision and say this. So us as gamers, I feel like we lose out on the potential of good games because of these corporate heads.
I definitely sound like I would agree. I would agree. I mean, that would make sense. But like the biggest thing is that I think people I feel like some of these places just underestimate the value or the cost of how much these live service games overall will be, or and how much is you have to dive into or invest in that said game for just for it to be working the way it is. Oh, we just lost Smitty. There we go. We got Smitty's back. Okay.
That was weird. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. But yeah, so I just think that the way that like all this is like when the studio does it right, like let's say the studio who did Helldivers 2 made the studio's identity around the game, so that's how they're able to keep up with what they're doing with, even though they are slowing down relatively, they are still 100% in on supporting the game. That's the kind of level of support that you're needing for this kind of deal. If they didn't expect that kind of level of stuff, then that means that they didn't do their homework to do it, and then they assumed that this level that running this as a game as a service was just going to be enough for them to be able to release it to keep up with it. But then they saw the numbers. They're like, oh no, sorry, this is no way we can do. We're wanting to put money in on this, especially when you don't have good marketing about the game in the first place, and you don't know if people are going to be willing to come in and play the said game. And your main competitor is The Sims. So
right.
So good luck, man. It's like I can So I can understand it.
I feel like this is the delayed effect of trends that were old that are now outdated and unmanageable. I feel like this has happened a lot because these things got greenlit and whatnot years ago when we were still very much in a lockdown mentality and this and that. Things normalized, those projections completely shifted, and I guess I kind of understand, the projections being like, yeah, this isn't going to work, but like, how do you let it go so far before realizing, oh shit, we should not have made this game?
It's funny. It's funny.
A lot of money was lost for this.
It's funny.
It's crazy. That's like the Bad Girl thing where they filmed the whole thing and they were like, we're not going to release it.
Like,
cheaper for us to just.
We're just gonna put it in the vault. We're not going to release it. They did that for 2 movies.
Wild.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. Anyways. Well, rest in peace. I know you didn't have a chance to come out there, and I really wish that the vision of the studio is gone from this. And also, sorry to the folks that did lose their positions over at Tectonic Studios. So, but I'm sure they're going to be okay. Getting some work somewhere. In the industry, even though the industry right now is kind of shady, but still,
it's inevitable that a game like this will come out.
Yes.
If they said already being worked on.
It's funny you mentioned that because they said that there's another game that's coming out that was that was being
Ultra
worked
Life.
On. No, it was called Paralives.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like a cell shaded kind of game and stuff. I don't know anything about it because I don't usually know much about simulators, but yeah, so that one it might be coming out here soon in the near future. So there you go. All right.
Womp womp.
Well, we will close this off with Lex. So what are you bringing to the table, my friend?
So Elden Ring, the Erd Tree.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree. I don't play Elden Ring. I have a lot of friends that play Elden Ring. It has been released. Now, It was very highly anticipated. It looks absolutely fantastic. I'm seeing great reviews all over the board. But people are a little confused because they're not getting achievements, trophies, etc. However you play the game depends on where you are, right? Sony, Xbox, PC, Steam. Nobody's getting achievements for it. So just to clarify, the DLC expansion, it's now available on all platforms. Some fans are puzzled by the lack of PlayStation trophies, Xbox, Steam achievements, etc. Is it a bug? Did the game's update break? Nope. Don't worry. The DLC actually doesn't have any of those. The new land and enemies are hard enough. So honestly, completing the DLC in and of itself is the achievement. So I was curious what you guys thought. A lot of look, I know me and Davies, especially, we really, really, really like to 100% games. I like to get all the trophies. I feel like I'm not finishing if I haven't finished with getting all of them, right? I was curious what Davis thought first of all, because no trophies in a big DLC like that. Really? Well, I'm not upset about it. I'm curious.
I honestly, tried to be straight. I don't care because
right.
Here's the thing, and then it's not because I don't care because it is, but because here it is. I do love trophy chasing. But I'm not like hardcore. I don't buy games just to get easy trophies. I know some people that do that, but like, however, like it's something about like, trying to get all the trophies in your runs and then just getting it and then say, hey, I got the platinum in it is great. Good. Now, the reason why I don't care is that it is hard for me to play. Like, if let's say I platinumed the game already, like I platinumed Elden Ring again. The last thing I want to do is to come back to the said game and say, "Oh, we added trophies. You're not 100% anymore, so you can't.
Right.
So here's some more work to do." And like and the achievement, you still get the platinum, but like the achievement now is you have to get all the trophies for an expansion. An expansion. I usually don't care about like expansions and boosts and stuff like that towards it, because I just think like you're already doing a lot of extra work. Let alone Earth Tree. I can only imagine the difficulty on beating these bosses. Like I just can't. I wouldn't want to focus on that. I would focus on the story element personally. So really, I like. It's actually very good. It's actually very calming on the fact that they didn't add trophies for you to try to be like, oh, try to beat this guy with a stick instead of using your full armor and stuff like that, blindfolded. And it's like, oh no, it's like
your hands tied behind your back.
Yeah. I think so. The way I interpret it is that I think that they want you to focus on your play, like to try. Well, first, focus on beating the son of a bitches and inside of it, and to focus on the story of the said DLC itself. So I definitely love this approach to it. It doesn't give you any additional pressure to be like, oh, let me get the bet to see the bet be the best, to see how many people beat the game 100% again, you know. So no, so that's where I usually that's where I would stand on it.
Sir Smitty.
Yeah, I hate Elden Ring, so I don't give a shit about it.
Oh wow!
I heard people were bitching that old super hard and good. That's what you get. That's what they're known for. And you know what I'm saying? So like, don't cry about it now. You knew what you got yourself into.
Yeah.
You know, and I love the fact.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny about that? Like, so the way to get into the expansion of Elden Ring is you have to fight an optional boss from the original game to be able to open access. Awesome. To gain access to the Earth Tree access. Exactly. So like that's what I kind of find very weird about it. It's like, how are y'all like? I mean, I understand people don't want to do it because it's hard. Fair enough. All right, it's hard. You don't want to play a hard game, and you're not alone. But however, you shouldn't be bitching about it because like that it's hard, that it's a bad game because it's hard. It's too hard for you. Just say it's not my cup of tea to that extent.
Right.
And I love the fact that this game isn't just handing you a way or an access to it. You have to earn everything that you get in that game, which I absolutely love. Which we don't see, which we like. It is so rare to find a game that does that. It's not even funny. Yeah.
Scyther's exactly right. It's that old school mentality of games.
Mm-hmm.
Either you do it or you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to hold your hand. I'm not going to and I'm going to make this make you feel like this is impossible. So unless you're ready for that kind of stress, it's not for you. I'm not ready for that kind of stress. That's why I don't play those games.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any idea how hard for Smitty to just play Wolong?
Yeah.
So I just can't even imagine.
I still haven't gone back to that game.
Yep.
I will beat at least that game, so I can say I beat at least one, and I'll say it in quotation marks, Souls-like game.
Mm-hmm.
But I did, when I was playing it, I felt and I understood the rush of actually, getting your ass whooped and then being able to finally beat this boss that has been beating you up for multiple days or weeks or whatever, and getting past it. Like, you're just like, yeah, that is the achievement, that feeling.
Yeah, there we go. It's like the gratification. They should have one trophy that they should have when you beat the game, and it's like, congratulations, a participation trophy. That's it. They just give you the participation trophy. That would be great. I would love it.
You know what's crazy? I heard about Elden Ring because I watched Jenna Marbles when she was in her heyday. She played it and gave like a tour of her little house. So I'm sure she's having a blast playing this because she loves Elden Ring. But that's how I originally heard about it. I was in like a gaming lull. It was before I started streaming. So this is like
Well,
2017?
No, the game.
No, the game came out like 2
no.
years ago. The Elden Ring came out 2 years ago or so, I would say. About 2 years ago.
That might have been like a
Dark Souls or
No,
something.
because she
Dark
gave us
Souls.
like a tour of her house. Okay.
Elden
2
Ring.
years ago is when maybe what I'm saying is she did a tour. In 2017, I was heavy into Gem and Marbles.
Mhm.
I don't think she did the tour during that time, but she started playing it, and then she did a couple videos about what she does in her free time, and she showed, this was right before she went dark on the internet completely.
Right.
But she was the reason I had found out about it, because I Googled. I was like, it's Elden Ring, right? And
No,
there it
Elden
was, the
Ring.
video.
No, the game didn't exist.
Yeah, the game
No,
didn't
I'm not
exist
saying
at the
it
time.
was in 2017. I'm saying I was
Oh.
heavy into Gem and Marbles during
Oh,
2017, right
okay.
before I started getting back into
Yeah.
gaming.
I see.
Gotcha.
I was playing Monster World Hunter, and I was heavy into that. And then I slowly started to switch to PC, and that was around the time she made the video of like, hey, this is what I do in my free time. You guys wanted a tour? Here it is. And I was like, oh, maybe I can play Elden Ring and like maybe become friends with her. And then I looked at what it was like, and I said, no, thank you.
MTV
It's not
Cribs.
for me. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
no,
see? She plays Elder Scrolls too, but she played out. Is it? Okay, maybe. Hold on. Never mind.
I believe she was
I was
playing
like-
Elder Scrolls.
I was like, hold
yeah,
on.
because I wasn't like I just wasn't
She
getting
quit
it.
at some point
I
too,
saw
right?
Elder, so
Yeah.
maybe I just mixed that up.
I
Elder
mean,
Scrolls.
Oh,
Damn
that's
it, you're right.
understandable.
It is
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls.
yeah.
Okay.
I read too quickly. I was like,
Hey, I
wait,
played
wait.
ESO. I played ESO for a little
Yeah.
bit.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I did. Yeah,
Oh,
on
nice.
PlayStation.
How'd you like it?
I liked it until I had no friends to play with. Then it got very lonely for me.
Oh, you mean just like what y'all did for V Rising for me?
Shut up, dude. Because the difference between the two is that anybody can hop on and play, whereas you have to be on for us to be able to play under your instance, which is dumb.
It is dumb. They
That's
probably
the dumbest thing.
they saved a lot of saved some ducats so they didn't have to server ducats because it costs a lot for data like that.
So dumb.
It is kind of weird though that they put that charge in the hands of the player, like to make a
You
private
can get
server.
yourself a server.
Yeah, I know, but
we
it's like
ain't footing the bill.
yeah, exactly. It's like
we got a set amount, and that is all you get.
you like V Rising a lot. Okay, cool. Hey, well, if you can make your own server. The server costs $20 a month and have fun. It's like what?
Yeah.
It's
Like,
like
huh?
what? Why? Why would you do this? Yeah, that whole deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
we're back, so I don't have to
Okay.
type that all out. Scyther, I hadn't seen them. I didn't know about them because her controversial videos were done before
yeah,
I was really big into YouTube. I will say this. She's the one YouTube apology that A, I believe, and B, she went dark on the internet. She said, I've never been here to cause pain to anybody. I've clearly done that. So I'm going to go. I love you all and good night, And she's
Peace
kind of
out.
the only one that I believed. Like she kept to her word. She did not come back. She did not try to reinvent herself. She just said, I was never here to cause any trouble. I don't want to cause any pain. Here is what exactly I did. I'm going to lay it all out for you. There's no excuse. I am sorry. Goodbye. And hey,
well, there you go. But
Yeah.
but overall with Elden Ring itself, like really cool. Yeah, really cool that they did that they're doing this. That they didn't focus on the trophies itself, but. I need to play. I need to finish. I need to beat the original Elden Ring. That's why I wasn't in any hurry on
You
playing
didn't
this
finish it?
expansion. No,
I thought you had finished it for some reason.
no, I didn't. I've been playing that on my own leisure. But then, when the new game comes, it's like, oh, this is clearly the first game that's going to be on the
Yeah.
queue list because
I want to see what Ermagerd's thoughts are because I know Ermagerd was pretty heavy in the Elden Ring. So
Ermagerd is like loves those kind of games though. Because I remember like they were also were able to like when I was playing Liza P. Have you played Liza P?
Yeah.
Yeah, Liza P was
Nope.
super ridiculous.
Liza P.
Yeah.
I wanted to play that
Won't
so
touch it.
bad.
Great game. So there you go.
I should have played it.
it's on Game
Nice.
Pass, or it was.
I know.
There you go.
So is the Marvel game I want to play. I haven't played it yet. Guardians.
Folks, Thanks for playing. Thank you for listening to episode number 224 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back again next week with a new set of topics and discussions as always. But if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly okay. We do release it on all podcast services on at each and every beginning of the week. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Well, except that was horrifying.
Sorry.
But I'm just kidding. But guys, also be sure to go check out our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, and also stay tuned by check out the what do you think spoiler cast of Avatar season 1. It's just going to be a very good conversation. So once again, this is Lex, Smitty, and Davis signing out. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.